Hey, greetings friends, Dennis LaRue here with your hashtag Steel Toes Required quote of the week, episode 55. That's right, 55. We're in, for those of you that like seasons, this is season 2, episode number 3. Hey, Jamie, my wife is on watching me, woohoo! All right, I got a fan, that is awesome. So, this week, I was in Madison, Florida last week, working with Global Youth Initiative, with the Lynn Brown, with the John Maxwell team, and a group of other John Maxwell team coaches. What a great week it was. Pouring into kids from ages from elementary age, actually pre-K, all the way up to high school age. Kids all over the Florida, Georgia area. Even went into Valdosta to speak to a school there. Great week. And one of the things that I saw that week was, I was just talking to Facebook Live recently in the Belief Hacker Challenge, Belief Hacker Nation. You need to go check them out. And we were talking about this whole idea of limiting beliefs. And today's quote is actually based off of a limiting belief of ourselves. And it comes from my journal. I wrote it in my journal. So there's nobody to attribute it to. So it was a journal entry of mine, and it is this. Here is the quote. You are more valuable than you realize. Kevin Daw, what's going on, man? As a matter of fact, we were just Valdosta. Kevin Daw and I were stationed in the Air Force together at Moody Air Force Base in Valdosta. Went to Airman Leadership School together at the same time. Our very first leadership experience in the Air Force. And he was the principal of the school that I went to in Valdosta and had no idea at the time. So, man, Kevin, is great catching up with you. I'm glad you're watching. Robert Beam, glad you're here too. So the quote again is this. You are more valuable than you realize. I want you to think about that. It is so easy for us to see others. Brian Satterley, what's going on? It is so easy for us to see others and see their gifts and their strengths and their talents and their potential and their greatness, also weaknesses as well. And it's so easy for us to see them. And we think, well, since it's so easy for us to see them, that everybody else sees them too, they probably already know it. And then you go up to that person and you share with them that they are gifted at, or you see that they're talented here, or maybe you even see that what they're doing, that's a calling or a purpose on their life, and you even use those terminologies with them. And you anticipate them saying, people tell me that all the time, or I know, but instead their eyes go big, which mine don't normally do, big as saucers. And they're absolutely shocked when you tell them this. And it's as if it's the first time they've ever heard that. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's you. Because I know, I can speak for myself. Steel toes are on right now. Hashtag steel toes required. Mine are on. And I'm stepping on my own toes with this. Because we so underestimate. I underestimate my value. You underestimate your value. But we are so quick to see the value in everybody else. You are more valuable than you realize. How many times has somebody said to you that you are gifted at working with people, or you know what, your strength is your attitude, or your strength is this, and your response is, really? Are you serious? But when you examine yourself deep down, you know it's true. You know deep down this is true. So what do you do in these moments when you know you're more valuable than you realize? How do you get that value out? It takes hard work, and it's going to take effort, and it's going to take some time, because these limiting beliefs, in this case, some of these beliefs that you've known deep down have been buried so deep and covered by layers and layers of junk that you got to dig deep to pull that back out. How do you do that? Well, one, you need to start moving forward in that belief that you are more valuable. You've got to look to that person you've got to look in the mirror every day and tell the person you see that you are more valuable than you realize. But not just words. Not just the words. Words have power, but you've got to back those words with belief, with emotion. Jim, what's going on? You've got Mariana. So good to see you too. You've got to back those words with the belief and the emotion behind it, because words are just words. They're spoken, they do have power, but if they're not backed with belief and emotion, you're not going to break through that value barrier that's holding you back. You are more valuable than you realize, and you bring more to the table than you realize, and you belong at the table when you think that you don't. What's holding you back? What's holding you back? What is it that somebody has said to you that when they say it, you don't believe them? You act incredulous. You act overwhelmed. You act shocked. But they're not the first person that's told you that. Hey, Melanie, what is that in you? Because it's easy to point out in others their strengths, their gifts, their talents, their abilities, the impact that they have on people. I saw it all week long in Madison, Florida with Lynn Brown. And with the John Maxwell coaches that were there pouring into that community. I saw it. I saw it in each one of those kids. Hey, Melanie, what is going on? Hey, Candy. And I also saw it in myself. There were certain things that were said to me that, you know what, I stepped back and it blew me away. But, you know, deep down I know this. I know some of the strengths, talents, and abilities have been given to me. And I know I'm more valuable than I realize. So what's holding me back from being more valuable and stepping out? It's fear. It's fear of stepping out. Because when you step out and get in front in the race, guess what? Your back is now everybody's target. When you get out in front in a race, you're the target because you're the leader. You're out in front. It's the same thing with each one of you. When you become more valuable, you shine brighter. You shine bigger. And your impact grows. And when you get out in front, I've heard it said, don't be surprised when you get kicked in the rear. Don't be surprised when people are throwing knives at your back. That's what's going to happen. But we're afraid of that. We're afraid of, some of us are afraid of what people think, what people will say, or what people will do. That's one reason. What about that? But right now, the reason that fear is caused because of doubt. We doubt ourselves. We doubt our abilities. We doubt our callings. We doubt our purpose. We doubt all kinds of things. We listen to that, I've heard it, the gremlin. That gremlin sitting on your shoulder whispering every reason why that you're not valuable. Everything you've ever done in your life to tell you you're not good enough. Every little thing, every word spoken from other people that broke you down, those all of a sudden come back up as a reminder that you don't have value. But that's not true. You know, this week we were talking to kids using this great toolbox that Barbara Britt brought to our attention. And in that toolbox wasn't hammers, nails, and screws and things like that. There was this big giant pink eraser that said the big mistake. And we talked about how that big mistake eraser was there, because while we do make mistakes, and while we listen to others in this case, and we allow them to speak things to our lives that beat us down, we're not who they say we are, and we're not our mistakes. We evaluate those mistakes. We learn from those mistakes. Yep, I made a mistake. but that thought doesn't serve you anymore. And so you pull out that eraser and you wipe it away from your mind. You wipe it away from your thoughts, and you start with a clean slate. And then you get to write the story after that. You get to become who you were meant to become, because that's who you want to become, not what anybody else is saying. And we shared that this week, and I share that with you now. You are more valuable than you realize. You're not a diamond in the rough, you're a diamond. You're not fool's gold, you're gold. You're silver, even bronze. Who you are so much more valuable. You are unique. You are a person that was made for this time and this place to impact people in your circles now and beyond. And it's time for you to step out of the shadows and step out of the past and step out of the mistakes and step out of the fool's gold and now take hold of your gold and now shine to those around you. What's that going to take? Hey, Santos, Shelley, what is that going to take for you? It's your time. It's time for you to be you. Quit waiting for people to, hey, Mom, quit waiting for permission from people to be who you're supposed to be and start taking permission. Quit waiting and start taking and start acting, because you are valuable. There's a great story, I've shared it before, acres of diamonds in your own backyard. You are one of those diamonds in your backyard, in your community. And it's time for you to come out, because I believe in you. I see the posts. Many of you that are here listening to me now, I know personally. I've met. We've talked. We've spent time together. And the value that you bring to me and the value that is in you is immense. Now it's your time to believe that in yourself and let it explode to your greatest purpose, to become your greatest version of yourself. And it starts right here, right now, by believing that you're more valuable than you truly are. I believe that in you. And it is such an honor and a privilege to spend time with you this week. So please, I urge you, your action step this week is examine those beliefs, your limiting belief that's holding you back. That's number one. And number two, what are those things? What are those characteristics? What are those skills that people compliment you for all the time that you keep saying, I don't believe it? That you keep saying, really? Are you sure? Nuh-uh. What are those? And then your third step is take action in those areas this week. Because if other people are seeing it, it's time for you not only to see it, but believe it and take action on it. That's your charge this week. That's it. So what are you going to do?